Slide, 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 baby, slide. Come on, I said slide, 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 baby, slide. Yeah. Sliding through the city, fresh air from the windows cracked. Smiling at the view as the pretty skyline smiles back. The sun's starting to go down, you can see it through the clouds, yeah. Can barely hear a word I'm saying, cause the music's so loud. Sliding through the city, feeling so good that I ain't got a worry in the world, can't nothing kill my vibe. Sliding through the city, feeling so good that yeah, ain't got a worry in the world, can't nothing kill my vibe. Can't nothing kill my vibe, oh nothing can kill my vibe, no. Because I'm feeling so good, I'm so blessed, I feel like I'm high. Because I'm so up right now, what a time to be alive, yeah. I've come too far, I worked so hard, that's why I'm just sliding through the city, feeling so good that I ain't got a worry in the world, can't nothing kill my vibe. Sliding through the city, feeling so good that yeah, ain't got a worry in the world, can't nothing kill my vibe. Slide, slide, baby, slide. Come on, I said slide, 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 baby, slide. Come on, now just slide, 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 baby, slide. Come on, I said slide, 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 baby, slide. Now let it vibe, it vibe, it vibe. Sliding through the city, feeling so good that I ain't got a worry in the world, can't nothing kill my vibe. Sliding through the city, feeling so good that yeah, ain't got a worry in the world, can't nothing kill my vibe. Can't nothing kill my vibe. Can't nothing kill my vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
okay. I love that song. I love that video. Welcome to the Rocky Road, y'all. I am Rocky Rocket. I am here with Cooli, booli, right?
Yes,
This is the Rocky Road, a show with Crowded Streaming. We are a show that supports independent music artists and the people who support independent music artists. We'll be talking about the ups and downs of the independent music artist Rocky Road. And I have my guest with me, Cooli Booli. You just saw Sliding, a video put out by Cooli Booli. So excited to have you here today, bro.
I appreciate you having me. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Nice weather out here in Houston right now, you know.
Yes, it is. It is. So why don't you introduce yourself? Tell the people a little bit about you, who you are.
Okay. Everybody out there, my name is Cooli Booli. I'm an artist, producer, director here in Houston. You know, I do a little bit of everything, make music, write music, help film music, just visionary, you know, kind of help people put things together. And also, you know, I do my own project. So, out here in Houston. Originally from Louisiana, but been in Houston pretty much my whole life. I'm a Houston.
Yay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
how long have you been doing music?
Since I was in school, I was in band in school. I learned percussion, and I was in drumline in my high school at Nimitz and Aldine. So I've been doing music for quite a while.
Mm.
So,
Um,
but as far as fully like with my funk stuff, I've been doing that for like the past 3, 4 years. I went by another artist named previously, CB, aka Country Boy. I used to go by Country Boy back in the day, and but as you grow and evolve, I wanted to try some new stuff. So been at it for a little minute.
so you're a native Houstonian. How
Yeah,
is the independent music life been treating you in Houston?
it's good. It is challenging. Houston is a tougher market, but it's good. It's just all about your grind and what you put into it. For sure, like anything, I guess.
Right. So what are some of the ups of
Mhm.
doing music here in Houston as a native Houstonian?
Some of the ups, definitely. Houston is really diverse. So there's people from all over the world that's come in here and move in here. So it's kind of like I feel like Houston is kind of becoming like a new LA, or like a new New York. So that's definitely a up around here because there's so many new people and diverse people. So you can it's easier to kind of promote your music. It's getting a lot easier because there's so many more new people and new faces and everything moving in every day. So that's definitely a big up.
So what is the challenging part? You spoke on some of
Hmm.
the challenges of being of trying to push your music here in Houston. What do you feel that those are?
Challenging sometimes. I feel like with the shows and just different things going on in the community, sometimes that can be a little challenging. There definitely is a lot of new places and venues opening up, so that's a good thing. But sometimes, depending on what type of music you make as well, can be a little challenging for new listeners to become familiar with and stuff like that. So H Town, we got a sound that everybody loves, and sometimes if you do things outside of that, they kind of question you, but hey, that's Houston for you. It's all good. I'm sure
Right.
everybody knows that as well. People in Atlanta or LA. So if you're
What
not
are some of the places that you've been outside of Houston?
outside of Houston, pretty much all over the map. I've traveled and been fortunate enough to do some touring, across the United States, and I got to go to Canada, which was awesome. So um, I love traveling and meeting new people, and especially outside your city, um, seeing how people receive the music and stuff like that. So that's always a big blessing.
How'd you get into touring?
The touring, through the networks, through people I know, and different things like that, and different promoters, managers, and artists that I worked with, stuff like that. We working on music together. Those opportunities come along. So um, networking is the biggest thing, the biggest key.
Mm.
So and it's who of course. So, but what I tell all artists to get into touring, you got to have a music that's going to be received well live. That's a
Mm.
big thing. So make sure that you have a good live show that when you do get those opportunities, you know what I mean, you can go anybody anywhere and go crush it, do your thing. So that's very important to have a good live show for sure.
Mm. Who were some of your musical influences? Because, from what I hear, you
Mhm.
are the funk man, the man of
Right.
funk, king of funk. So, who were some
I
of
appreciate
your
it.
who are some of your funky influences?
Funky influences, definitely James Brown. That's like probably one of my favorite. I'm a big Rick James fan too, like super big Rick James fan. Um, Let me see, funk wise, Curtis Mayfield too. I really feel like a lot of people sleep on Curtis. Like, man, he was way ahead of his time, you know. So funky influences, that would probably be some of my top. You know, growing up, we listen to everything. We listen to Motown and classic stuff, classic rock, country, hip hop, a little bit of everything. So, you know, I got a little bit of everything in me. But definitely H-Town music too, you know. We grew up on school music and like Devin the Dude and all the school music, Kiki, all that stuff, you know. So Fat Pat, yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Hmm.
So why don't you tell me about what category or genre, if either it could be a genre of music that already exists or one that you've a lane that you've created for yourself, what do you feel that you would consider yourself to be? Because I noticed that your style is not really rap, it's
Right.
mostly singing, but what would you consider for your category to be?
I consider it like that's a good question because even when we're distributing music and stuff like that, they ask us those questions. So because I am hip hop rooted and I do make a lot of people don't know, but I make a lot of my beats. Like all my beats, pretty much I make mostly all my music. Like the slide video we just watched, I actually produced that as well. So I kind of start off hip hop, but it always ends up funky, kind of soul. So when we categorize it for distribution, they always put it in an R&B category. You know what I mean? Because R&B is considered funk and soul, but I always put it in a hip hop category too because some of my other songs I'm still rapping on. It's like a form of hip hop, you know. So the closest comparison would be, yeah, I mean it's R&B hip hop, but if you consider compare me to anybody, it'd be like a new age Outcast almost, you know, something like
Mm,
those along those lines. So
I love
uh,
Outkast. I like that category
yeah,
for your music.
I
They
appreciate it. Yeah,
they do both. So
right.
when we're talking about creating a new lane for yourself, what are
Hmm.
some of the things that you found difficult with being in a lane that's not necessarily all R&B or all hip hop?
Right. It can the challenges sometimes is some people and you know PR people and things like that, they tell you to stick to one sound or stick to one lane, you know, but it's I feel like if you're a creator and doing music, why don't we go outside that box? You know what I mean? So when I make stuff, I just create from my soul. Like whatever feels good, it sounds good. Hey, it's got to be good, right? You know, so some of the challenges I find too, I guess because of who I am, some people don't expect the sound that they get. So they don't know how to perceive it. You know what I'm saying? So that sometimes that's a little challenging, but I guess I'll solve.
Mm. You mentioned production. How did you
Yeah,
get into producing your own tracks? Was
through
it
because
out
you
of
know,
necessity or?
I mean, when I first started making beats a long time ago, I was like a freshman in high school. So that was back in the day. We had like Windows 98 and stuff, you know. But I don't know, just kind of got into it. It was like it became like a hobby, you know, and just started making beats and different things like that. I was in drumline, so we was naturally making beats and having fun making music in school. So it just kind of, you know, it kind of carried over. But I always like creating, you know. I see a vision or I hear something, and if I can't go sit down with a producer like right now and then, you know what I mean? I gotta get it out because I'm like a crazy mad scientist in my head. I gotta get it out, get that idea out. So it kind of came from that, you know, especially now with the funk music I create, it's kind of hard to get some producers to hear what I'm hearing to play it. So, you know, yeah, it's a balance. Because I still work with
Mm.
other producers as well, you know. So
Do you produce for other artists, or do you only make music for yourself?
a little bit of both. I more so make music for myself, but um, when artists reach out to me, if you know, or different things like that, I work with artists and produce for other artists or collaborate, and we do something together, different things like that.
I
So,
heard recently, I've been following your music and you for a minute.
mhm.
And so as I was scrolling my timeline, I saw that you had a song with XXX Tentacion,
Yes,
um, who passed away. What was that? About maybe 3, 4 years
yeah,
ago,
I think like yeah, maybe 2 years now. Yeah,
3 years ago, something like that. Yeah. How did that collaboration with him and was it Shorty Yo?
Shorty. Oh yeah,
Shorty
yeah,
O?
right.
How did that collaboration come about?
I mean, it opportunity came along, like what I was speaking about earlier. You know, just networking with people with different things like that, and I took the opportunity. You know, they messaged me. Shorty O messaged me on Twitter, and my engineer, one of the engineers I work with up in Maryland, had told him about me and said that I do production and different things like that. So they hit me up and gave me a shot. You know, wanted me to touch up the beat. It was already there, but it needed some touching up. I sent it back to them, and they were really impressed, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to possibly do the hook or sing a chorus or do something like that?" So I was like, you know, shoots that, let's do it. So, you know, it just kind of really came out of nowhere. We did the song a few months ago, and the artist Shorty O, he reached out to me the week of Halloween and told me he was gonna release it that Friday, which is, I guess that was like a week ago, you know. And I'm like, hey, let's get it, you know. So super blessed, super blessed.
That is a blessing.
Right.
That is a huge
Yeah.
blessing. On
Yeah.
some of my past episodes, I talk with music artists about the difficulty in balancing creating a music lane for
Mhm.
yourself, being an independent music artist, and real life,
Right.
which includes bills, which includes, um, you know, to having multiple sources of income while
Yeah.
you reinvest into being a music artist.
Right.
What does that look like for you on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I actually saw one of your other episodes, and artists were speaking about that, and it's definitely a balance, you know, because life is still going to happen. You still got responsibilities. We still got bills. So, you know, you have to continue with that day to day, but also stay when you're not with the label, when you're an independent artist, you have to understand that all those financial burdens as an artist come along with that. So it's definitely a balance. You got to take care of your bills and take care of those responsibilities, but also make sure that you're investing into, you know, your music and stuff like that as well. Look at other opportunities out there to make revenue, because even big artists that make it, they'll always tell you like find other revenue streams as well. So, you know, you can continue to keep investing and keep, you know, that residual coming in so you can keep creating, you know. So it's very important. Um, as an independent artist too, you have to not only keep creating, but you got to keep thinking of the next thing that you can do outside of, you know, the creating, so you can keep evolving as well, you know. So it's a big balance. Also, artists think about other ways to make money with just your music, because music now, the streaming numbers, yes, we make money, but it's not like it used to be, you know, off selling records. So it's important to have other things like merch, um, have, you know, products that you can sell that might be related to you as your artist, or just different things that you like to create that you could probably sell. Don't, you don't, it doesn't have to just be t-shirts and hats. It could be, whatever. It could be any type of art. You can paint, whatever, so um also artists can offer things like production if you do make beats, sell beats, try to get placements, um, upload music to libraries where you can try to get licensing deals and different things like that. Um, you can also give music lessons. Some artists, if they play an instrument, drums, guitar, piano, you can offer lessons to people to make money. So there's all kinds of creative ways to make money that you can keep, investing back into what you have. So I always say it's important to, use, if you have a 9 to 5, I don't knock anybody that has a 9 to 5. Like, you still got to pay your bills. You know what I mean? And some people have successful jobs that, hey, if this is paying more than my music, why not keep that? You know what I mean? It's a good balance, because there's so many hours in the day you could work that 9 to 5 and still get off and go to the studio and go kill the show all in the same night, and now you got 3 sources of income. So you just got to be creative, stay dedicated, and the balance, because you still got to live life at the end of the day too. So for sure.
Before we got started, in addition to that, you mentioned kids and family. Um, how does balancing all of that work in your world?
It's definitely a balance, because you got to make time for everything and everybody. So uh, the cool thing with me and my family, it's we're all music heads, so we kind of all do this together. So when I'm in here, I'm actually in the studio right now, and it's in the house, and I might be working on something, and the kids will come in and dance and sing, or my wife will come in and dance and sing. So it's always working, even when it's not. So, but it's definitely a balance, because you got to find time for it all, between working and music and your family. So don't you can't neglect one thing. You know what I mean? So you kind of gotta make sure, okay, if I'm gonna do this day and give this 3 hours in the studio, I gotta make sure I give my kids those 3 hours too. So because hey, it's all love. You can't. It's the balance. So, but even sometimes I try to bring them along, even on shows and different things like that as well, and keep everybody involved. I think that's really important. When everybody's involved, then nobody feels left out. So, you know, absolutely.
Corey, right? We were talking about in past episodes too about balancing all three, the financial responsibilities, family responsibilities, and how difficult that is when you have one uh, one area, one job that is constant investment and not so much uh money coming out of it as is being invested into it.
Right.
How in your time as a music artist, how has that worked for you in keeping that balance going of how much you're investing as opposed to how much you're getting out? How are you budgeting your career as an independent music artist?
Um, that's a good question too. It's again, it comes
Yeah,
down.
I'm queen good questions.
Man, you get it. It's like, again, it's the balance. You know what I mean? So you gotta, like, get creative with different things that's gonna make you money. Like I was saying, with merch and different things like that. You know what I mean? Because you want to use financially, you got to kind of break it down too. You got to do what's making sense for, everybody's different, but do what makes sense for you. So if your bills are paid and let's say you have $500 left over a month, of course, you still got to live, you got to eat, you got to do these things, but pay yourself as an artist, even if you invest $100. So you still have $400 left over a month. Take this $100 and put that into what you have going on, and kind of spread it out. You know, that could be $100 worth of merch that's gonna make you money back, or you could this month I'm gonna do $100 in promotions. You know what I mean? Run some ads, different things like that. So it's it's definitely a balance. You don't want to overinvest too much where you're keeping yourself broke, because you still have to live life. You know what I mean? You still got to do these things outside of your music career, and keep that balance so you keep your sanity, because you can drive yourself crazy, make yourself go broke, working so hard to make it. You know what I mean? So it's just the balance. You know what I mean? Try to with me too. What kind of helps me, I produce a lot of my own videos as well. So like the sliding video that we watched, me and my wife actually shot that. That's my wife in the video. Shout out to Rainy Love. We shot that together. We help each other. She helps me, and that kind of frees me up from always having to pay a videographer, because that can be very expensive, producing videos a lot. So I made up in my mind, I want to produce a lot of content. So how can we do this? I can keep investing into directors and video people, or we can invest that money and buy our own equipment and learn how to do this. So it's just different ways of, investing in what you got going on to make it work for your situation.
Mm.
So,
I could have sworn that video was produced by a videographer. Y'all did really good.
yeah, I appreciate it. I super appreciate that. Yeah, we've been
Y'all
shooting
did
videos now.
really good. That was good quality.
I appreciate it. Yeah, like we invested in getting good equipment and different things like that. So it's not always about investing in let's say promotion or different things like that. Sometimes it's about investing in your equipment. You know what I mean? Or other artists invest in production. See where you're lacking at in your artistry. Make yourself a chart or something. You know what I mean? See what you got versus what you need, and invest in that, because it's got to make sense. You got to make smart moves. So absolutely.
Well, I in past episodes too, I've also talked to other artists about times where they almost quit uh, the music industry, for multiple reasons: family life, issues in the family, not enough support, and not knowing where to go. Was there
Right.
ever a time where you thought that you weren't going to do music anymore?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, especially when it comes to a point in time when you feel like you're working super hard, but you're not getting anywhere. A lot of artists, they go through that. So it's, again, you got to kind of go back to the drawing board and what can I do better? You know what I mean? Because at first, with a lot of artists too, we want the overnight success. We want the instant gratification with fans and stuff like that. But you have to earn fans' trust. You have to give them something to feel good and believe in you about. So with me, I was going through a few years back. I was in a couple independent label situations and management situations and stuff like that. And we just weren't seeing eye to eye, on certain things. So it was a little frustrating, but I took a break. Sometimes you got to take a break to kind of collect yourself and go back to the drawing board. And for me, taking that break was the best thing for me, because then I came back even stronger than ever and with a new mindset. So, and that was when Cooli, I kind of took on the Cooli entity, and I just ain't looked back since. But it's still, I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying? I'm still learning, I'm still growing and living every day, but it's a mindset, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, too, as being an artist and creator, you have to create for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's my way to vent. That's my way to get my release. So I have to always remind myself that I'm doing this. This is what I love to do. And then, as it grows and it keeps getting bigger and bigger, that's the blessing. That's the icing on the cake, So Just got to keep going. Keep going.
Keep going. Gotta
That's it.
keep going.
Yeah.
Gotta keep going. So, how do you remain in touch with your fans and how do you make new ones?
Keep in touch. Social media is a beautiful thing. So I'm able to keep in touch with a lot of fans that way, you know. But I go a little step further. Sometimes I message or, hey, you know, live chat me, call me, you know what I mean? Just doing those different things like that. Fans really appreciate that. They want that connection, you know. So that's what I do. And I love it. I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the biggest, besides a financial thing. I really love interacting with people. I love talking to people, shaking hands, and people getting it. You know what I mean? The music, it touches them. It might affect them in a whole positive way. So that's like the biggest blessing to me. To keep reaching new fans, we gotta keep getting creative, not only with the music but with the marketing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta, like, I did a Randy Savage video a couple weeks ago. I was just, it was one of my biggest wrestling icons growing up. So I kind of get that sometimes. I just do crazy.
Yes, you are kind of Randy
You know what I'm
Savage.
saying? So I hopped out the shower with the wet wrestler hair and everything. You know what I'm saying? And did the video. Just, hey, I'm gonna try something different. And I put it out. But so many people received it well. So, and I got a bunch of new fans. So I mean, you got to get creative with reaching the people, but you got to give them something to feel good about. That's what that's my ultimate goal with my music. I want people to feel good. I want people to have fun because times is crazy. You know what I mean? And there's so much craziness in the world. Like, we gotta get back to spreading love and having fun again. So just you keep reaching people. Some people don't know how to take it. You know what I'm saying? But
It's new. It's new.
for some, there's so many people in the world. So I tell artists all the time, not everybody's gonna like your music, and that's okay. But for that one person, there's gonna be another person, and then there's gonna be another person. So you just gotta just keep pushing.
Weed them out.
That's it. That's it.
Weed them out. So let's get into this slide-in track that we just played. This slide-in video. You said it was self-produced.
Yes.
The actress is also your wife, who is also one of the directors and videographers in this video.
Right.
Is this off of a current project that you're pushing right now?
Was I put it out as a single. I'm working on an actual project right now, a whole funk album. The last album I put out was last year, was Brass Knuckles, but it's more hip hop. It's like street hip hop music. But it has that funk element. You can hear it. But I've been working on this project for a better part of this year, and I was looking to release it on Black Friday, but there's so many people releasing on Black Friday. So I'm looking at probably like the first or second week into December. I'm still up in the air on the name because I was gonna call it MAFA, Make America Funk Again. But I don't know. I'm finishing up all the songs, but the project is coming. I don't know what the name is gonna be, but it's some straight funky, feel good, like crazy good music. I'm trying to create
poll
something.
your fans. You should ask your fans what title do they vote and ask them to vote on it.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to.
I would vote.
You vote? Okay. All right. I'm gonna put it up then. I'm gonna do that this week.
Vote.
I'm gonna do that this week. Let's come up with a name.
Yes. I know, me as a fan of music, I'm not an artist myself. Never have been, but I always support things that I feel like I can interact into. So I always think stuff like that is dope.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that then. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Well, you're on Twitter, and I know that Twitter offers a poll option. So
Yeah.
yeah. With that said, how did you come up with the sliding song? What were you thinking? What kind of mode were you in? What
Yeah.
kind of feeling were you trying to give your fans or whoever ran across this track?
Yeah, I mean, I was messing with some sounds and I put the track together a couple months ago, and I just had the track. I'm always on the road. I'm always driving and doing some stuff. So I was just, one day vibing, and the words just came to me. I was riding down 45. The words just came to me, and some music is like that. You know what I mean? You just hear it, and it just writes itself. So it came along like that. With the video, we were trying to really capture that image of riding around, different things like that. So I was fortunate enough to had a my friend let me borrow his Chevelle that's in the video, which was just super amazing. So uh, we set up. We were trying to capture like a sunrise, sunset type scene. So we shot it actually in the woodlands when we were doing the video. Real early. It was like right when the sun was coming up. I think like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And we were out there filming, riding around. We had mounted a camera actually on the hood of the car. I was super scared. It was like, please don't fall off. So, because the car was like, it was a muscle car, so it was shaking it.
Yeah.
And we shot those scenes, and it was kind of crazy because it was early in the morning. It was like real humid. You know how Houston is. So all
Yes.
the lenses kept fogging up the whole time. It took us probably like 10 takes to get those riding shots because all the lenses kept fogging up on the hood, and crazy. But we were shooting like an hour into it. We parked, and some people actually called the cops on us. Like cops rolled up on us.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're like a little nice part of the town by some townhomes and stuff. Excuse me. Cops pulled up on us, and like by that time we'd been filming for like an hour or so. We were pretty much done, and as soon as we see them pull up, they pulled up tough. We just packed up quietly and left. We didn't have any problems, but
Wow. What Karen done to y'all? Why?
because I'm super nice and cool with everybody. So we were out there, and it was early. It was like 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday too. So everybody, like, what the hell they doing out here? So.
Don't make excuses for Karen. Don't make excuses for Karen. She should have minded her business.
It's all good.
These people out here not bothering her. Just any reason to call the cops.
Wifey in the background talking about, yes, tell them right.
Man, don't make excuses for Karen. Yeah. Oh.
For Karen.
No excuses for Karen. None.
That's too funny.
Yeah, that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
It came together like it was supposed to, and I mean the motivation behind the track. That's just like with every song with me. I want to give you something to feel good about. You know what I mean? Let's have fun. Like I love doing live shows, so I want to do music that's gonna make you want to dance, gonna want to make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? So we're not here for a long time, so let's have a good time.
Right?
Ride through the city at night.
Yeah.
Yes. If you don't mind, do you mind your wife coming in for a second so I can ask her a couple of questions since she's in the room?
Yeah, let me get in here.
This is new. This is something I've never done before.
Hold on, she's gonna grab the chair real quick. Hold on 1 second. You can probably grab Raiden's chair and grab your boy's chair. Yeah.
So then I have actually, while she's doing that, one more question for you then too. I wanted to ask you, so you dropped a whole bunch of gems for independent music artists thus far. But I have a question for you. Do you have any more advice to give independent music artists, especially operating these days in COVID-19 and shutdowns and concerts kind of getting back started.
Right.
Do you have any advice for them?
Just keep going. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing because so many artists give up or stop before their time. You know what I mean? You could be right there, but that's the biggest thing. Keep going. Keep getting creative, not just with your music, but with your content and your marketing. You know, think of ways, different ways to promote yourself, put yourself out there that it's not like everybody else. Because there's no real there when you listen to all these PR people or you watch all these videos and training things, they always want to give you like a blueprint. This is the formula that'll work. But that formula might work for this person, but it might not work for the next person. So the biggest thing is keep going, keep creating, stay strong, stay true to yourself, you know what I mean, and your sound, and don't give up. Just keep going.
Mm.
Have fun at the same time.
And have fun.
Gotta have
And
fun.
have fun.
She always gonna
Yay! Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Now, my questions for you are actually about supporting in independent artists. I've never had a wife on my show before, but I noticed almost all of the people that I have on the show have a wife or a steady girlfriend. How does that work for you supporting your man in his independent music artist journey? How do you do that?
It's a headache sometimes. I would admit.
Yeah.
What makes it easy and what makes it worth doing is because I love music as well. I'm a singer, so sometimes when he's creating and I'm like, I need attention, I understand that flow. You have to catch it when it comes. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, I get it. And there's been times where we've bugged heads because we're very strong personalities, period. And so with that being said, it's always a balance.
So you create family times inside of his work schedule, sounds like you're saying.
And even our little kids, everybody loves music around here. So even when he's creating, that's our family time. Because when he's making beats, even I'm in here like, no, you need a little. And my son is like, Dad, I like this or add this. So our music time is also our family time as well. We enjoy it all. Yeah. So
then we all get up and dance together and act crazy.
Yeah, and that's how we know if it's a good song. If the kids dance, then we're like, okay, that's something to put out. If the kids are looking at him like,
what you doing, Dad? What you doing?
You take it up. Then we're like, oh, let's start from the circle.
I have to tell you, I loved you. You look beautiful in the sliding video that we just watched. He also mentioned that you're a videographer, you help direct, you help produce. Is there a time that y'all set aside to sit down and talk business, or does it just happen? And how do you separate that?
There used to be a time where we reached a plateau where it was just like music and talking. And being a director, you know, there's things that I want to see, you know, portrayed. So I'm like, you're too dry. Let's do this. Let's do that. And, you know, we had to separate it and realize that when we are working on music, or we have to, because I'm a singer too. So it's sometimes he's like, boo, you're a little flat, boo. Fix that. So, you know, we had to realize that our feelings had to get out of it to make something beautiful. And that's what I would say to all couples. Make sure that you can separate it, and we will have like 1 or 2 days out of the week where we're like, we're not going to talk about it. And if we talk about it, then whoever talks about it got to give that person $50, you know, or something. And once money comes in, you know, you act right.
Yeah.
So we'll do something like that on date night. No music talk, no nothing, even no kids. Because I love being a mother. So sometimes we have to separate that and make sure to care for each other. We've been together since we were 15 years old.
Wow.
So will be our 17th year, 9th year being married. So a lot of times we've grown up together. We're like brother and sister, so we buck heads because we've seen the ups, downs, the goods, the bads, the ugly in each other because we've grown up together. You have people that are dating at 30 and they don't see the ugly at 15 or 20 or that drunken night that nobody talks about. You know, so with that being said, we've learned so much about each other that we have to remain loving in it as well.
Yo, oh my God. I am such a fan of y'all. You have no idea. That is so beautiful. That is really so beautiful. So this is actually my last question along these lines. I know that you guys talked about family and bringing everyone together. Well, first of all, I wanted to ask you, are you an independent music artist or everything that you guys do, you do together?
We do together.
I would say he's independent.
I mean, for you, do you do separate or everything that y'all do, you sing on his tracks and y'all are kind of like a package deal?
We've done a lot together, but he's been motivating me like, hey, I think people would like to hear an album from you by yourself. So we're actually working on that as well.
Yay! Yes, support your wife, Cooli Booli.
I keep telling her, like, hey, you got to do your thing too, you know.
And I'm all about girl power, women empowerment. So yes.
Yay! I love it. I love it. And so as y'all are coming together as a power couple in the music industry, that's what I would call it. As you're coming together as a power couple in the music industry, how do you help support his ambitions and his dreams and in where he wants to be in his career going forward? I see you smiling, Cooli.
Because we've come so far, and you know, even in anybody's journey, you reach a plateau, and I'll tell him like, hey, you can take your break, but we got to get back on this. And you know, like I said, it's about to be 17 years, so I've seen the whole journey from start to now, and we're never gonna finish. This is our life. We came here to do exactly what we're doing. So, you know, I make sure to tell him to get a balance. Hey, some days you might just have to play a video game and chill, but I'm gonna let you do that for 2 days. But the third day, I'm gonna need you to get in here and make some beats or create or do something, because I know that, and I want to say this to all artists, I know that you may reach a plateau, and right now it feels like Judgment Day because people judge each other so hard. But do not stop what you love doing because of not getting likes, because people are saying bad things. Do you, because you came here to do just that.
Hey, what is your name?
Super amazing.
Yes, what is your name?
Rainy Love.
Rainy Love.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Well, Cooli Booli, that really wraps up my interview with you today. Is there anything that you want to promote or, you know, mention to the fans before we drop off here?
I appreciate you as well. I appreciate you having me, and I do appreciate everybody tuning in. God guys, everybody stay tuned. We got this funk project that is coming. I don't know what the name is gonna be for sure, but hey, you had a great idea with the.
Look out for the votes. We're looking for the votes right now.
We'll probably vote this week. I think that's a good thing, you know. So we definitely want to end this year on a bang. So there's a project coming. Everybody stay tuned for that. And everybody follow me. I appreciate all the followers. You can follow me on all platforms at It's Cooli Booli with an I, no EY. You know, so all love.
Okay, and also just want to mention to all of you, download Crowded Streaming. It is a music streaming app that supports independent music artists, and it's Black owned because we doing things different in 2020 and beyond. Thank y'all so much.
Yes.